Do you want a D-barrier for spell cards? Well, stop asking because we'll never get one, but we do have something pretty similar. Okay, so Magic Deflector is a normal trap card and reads, for the rest of the turn negate all equip, field, continuous, and quick play spell card effects on the field. So I don't know, is this card good or is this card not good? Because it doesn't really cover normal spell effects, so you might be thinking, but Yasin, this card's ass, it doesn't negate pod cards, Dark Ruler no more, engage. I mean, you're technically not wrong, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have a place to exist in either the current metagame or the future. So before we get into the analysis of this card review, or this card rather, make sure you like and subscribe, really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so even in the past, this card has pretty much never really seen any form of relevance against the aggressive combo decks, but it was always really played against the control decks. First of all, the only back removal that we had for years and years was pretty much just MST, and then eventually Twin Twister, and then Cosmic Cyclone. It's not really like right now where we also have Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster. Well, technically Harpy's Feather Duster was out there like super early on, but you get the point. It was kind of like not really legal for like so many years. But yeah, whatever. And also we have Evenly Matched. There are a lot of cards that wouldn't really lose to Magic Deflector, but back in the days, Magic Deflector was pretty much always doing a better job than Solemn Judgment in that aspect, where not only would you be negating your opponent's Twin Twister, trying to destroy floodgates on your field, but also you would kind of cuck your opponent from doing a wide variety of actions. Now, which decks actually lost to Magic Deflector? Well, honestly, there weren't that many competitive decks in the entire history that did lose to the card, but there were still a few, and they were pretty much like on top of the food chain. Monarchs had a pretty tough time against this card because a lot of cards in the Monarch deck are either continuous, quick play, and field spell, such as Domain, Monarch Stormforth, March of the Monarchs, as well as Return of the Monarchs. But yeah, on top of that, any other quick play spells such as Twin Twister would also lose to Magic Deflector. After that, we started seeing this card get more recognition for its really insane application against the True Draco deck, which, as we all know, relies on so many field spells and continuous spells to work. So Magic Deflector was pretty much the equivalent of like Dimensional Barrier against them. They really couldn't do that much, and even a good hand couldn't really go that far, because your 6 copies of Diagram, including the 3 Diagram and 3 Terraforming, were just dead cards. You couldn't use the effect of Diagram at all. It was just negated, even if the Magic Deflector was destroyed preemptively, because it's a lingering effect. But also the Heritage and Disciple effects, both of their effects were completely just negated, so you couldn't get the extra draws from both cards. So in other words, if you were under Magic Deflector, the maximum amount of Tribute Summon you had access to on your turn was just 1, because you have like your regular Tribute Summon on top of a card, but that's it, that's all. You don't really get that extra Tribute Summon, which seriously sucked. In the most modern days of Yu-Gi-Oh!, this card did see a bit of play against Sky Striker, as it was kind of able to negate a lot of cards in the deck, like Widow Anchor, Shark Cannon, I guess Eagle Booster, but not really, Area Zero, Multi-Roll, but it doesn't negate Engage, Afterburner, and Jamming Waves, and like Rhoda and stuff like that. Is it great against Sky Striker? It's not necessarily great, it's good, but obviously there's just always better, as I said. It does negate Shared Ride though, so even if you don't want to use the card against your opponent's turn, you can use it on your own turn, negate Shared Ride and Widow Anchor so you can safely kill your opponent. And as I said, this card is especially good in combo decks in the side deck. It goes without saying that Anti-Spell is the superior card in terms of power level, but if you don't really like seeing your Anti-Spell lose to Cosmic Cyclone, Twin Twister, and all those cards, well, Magic Deflector could be the option for you if you only really need one turn of stopping your opponent and not necessarily hurting you as well. So if you're playing a deck like Pendulum, Anti-Spell isn't the kind of card that you can side, whereas Magic Deflector would be an option, and that's exactly where Magic Deflector shined the brightest in the Pendulum decks when the deck was tier 1 or even tier 0 to a certain extent against those decks that really needed those spell cards such as True Draco. So even though the card necessarily isn't super good right now, it doesn't mean that it is destined to suck for the rest of its lifespan, because we never know what kind of future decks could exist. Maybe there would be a deck that only relies on like continuous spells or equip spells, I don't know, field spells, just anything can happen at this point. The fact that literally everyone uses field spells in 2021 is already kind of a starter for making this card a bit better than it already is, but I think you can understand where I'm trying to go with this card. It still has the potential to negate a lot of the modern, really high impact quick play spell cards, just such as Called by the Grave, Crossout Designator, Forbidden Forbidden Droplet, Mystic Mine, and a bunch of other kind of floodgates in a way, Necro Valleys, okay, whatever, you get the point at this point. But yeah, again, it's completely up to you whether or not you want to even consider the card moving forward, since as I said, as long as Anti-Spell and Imperial Order exist, there's kind of almost no reason to consider Magic Deflector. But if both of those cards get banned, and I really am confident that Imperial Order is going to get banned again, Magic Deflector maybe, just maybe, could see play again. But that's pretty much it for my card review. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.